Is the use of emotion when you're speaking something that's really effective and something you should use, or something that you should never do and you should always shy away from? There's schools of thought that preach both things. I'm Cassie Nevitt. I'm the creator of Present with Confidence, and I help women speak confidently in their business so that they can attract the positive attention they want, they can increase their impact in the world, and they can make the income that they want and deserve in doing that. Now, this question came up in a workshop that I just led, and it always is fascinating to me when it's presented. There are people that fall on both sides of the argument that you should never use emotion when you're speaking to a group or when you're trying to make a point. And then there's people that say, yes, use emotion, it's really effective. So what's the answer? I really land on the side of thinking, yes, use emotion, it's incredibly effective, and it's very powerful at drawing people into your message. When we were doing this workshop and women got up and shared a story that was emotional to them, they had every single eye in their audience on them, in the moment with them, completely engrossed in the story that they were sharing, which meant that they felt the impact of it. They were right there with them. They were totally engaged, and that emotion could be effectively used in that speech for the desired outcome. Now, you want to be careful with emotion because it can go badly. So I want to give you kind of 4 key things to think about when you're using emotion in a speech. The first is that you don't want to go into like dramatization of an emotion. We've all seen it happen. It doesn't work. It turns us off, and you take a hit in your authenticity if you go into the drama, the over-dramatization of, it was so sad, and you've seen the people that intentionally tear up and you know it's not real, and it doesn't work. So we want to make sure that we avoid the dramatization of the emotion. The second thing that you want to do is you want to learn how to experience that emotion on your own when you don't have an audience and make it be able to be really effective. So what I do when I want to really be authentic in experiencing an emotion is close my eyes and feel into, you can do this right now, feel into your body and just start to notice where your attention is pulled in your body, what the sensation is. And then without searching for an answer, just be curious of what emotion is in that spot where your attention is drawn. And when you have an idea of what the emotion might be, there's no judgment around it. There's no, this is a good emotion or a bad emotion. There's no pull to stay in that emotion. You're just holding the charge physically in your body and allowing it to be. When you can practice that helps us get out of the dramatization. I know I can remember times where I've felt an emotion. I've felt, like sadness. I'll start to cry. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, this must really be upsetting me because I'm crying about it. And then I go into the story of why I'm crying. And that might not even be the reason. I'm actually in that emotion, but I go into the story. And once I'm in the story, I keep going deeper. And then all of a sudden, I'm exhibiting the outward kind of symptoms of the emotion, but the charge of that emotion has passed. I've actually moved on, but I'm still acting it out. So we want to start to get in tune with ourselves so that we can manage our emotions, and whatever's being shown is actually what we're authentically feeling in the moment. We're not dramatizing. So 1 and 2 kind of go together. The third is to be able to practice sharing your story, sharing whatever emotion is going to come through when you say that story before you get in front of a group. Because sometimes a really powerfully emotional story is very effective. It's the perfect story that should be used, but we don't want to turn into a blubbering mess at the front of the room. We don't want to make people uncomfortable. And, we don't want to go overboard with our emotion, whether it's excitement or joy or sadness or grief, whatever that emotion is. Practice ahead of time and manage your emotion so that you're feeling the charge. Your audience will feel that charge too, but you know that you're not going to dissolve into a mess and totally lose it up there. So we have our first key is to make sure that you're not going into the drama of the emotion. The second key is to learn how to hold the emotional charge and have it be authentic in the moment. The third key is to practice using that emotion, feeling that emotion as you're saying what you're going to say. And the fourth key is that when you are actually speaking and when you start to feel the charge of an emotion, the last thing you want to do is to sort of choke it down and clamp up. When we see people do that, and you can tell they're telling an emotional story, and they all of a sudden constrict it and sort of hold it in their throat, we all get really uncomfortable because we know that they're uncomfortable with what's happening. So the invitation here is when you're telling a story, when you're speaking, and something emotional is coming up, that you actually strengthen your voice, you talk right through the emotion, and you think of almost upping your energy so that you're moving through the emotion, you're expressing it, you're not letting yourself kind of shrink down and apologize for experiencing that, and you're able to kind of carry that through and move beyond it while the audience still feels the full effect. So those are the keys that I can share with you around emotion. It's an incredibly effective tool for speaking effectively, for speaking on video, for sharing a story. And I really invite you to play with those things and to share a comment below. Have you used emotion in a speech? Did it go well? Did it go poorly? Did you have any ahas around this? So leave a comment below, and be sure that you subscribe on CassieNevitt.com. Enter your name and email address if you haven't already, and you'll get these videos in your inbox, all my blog posts of just your practical tips for presenting yourself confidently, for speaking and moving through your life with presence, and being able to strengthen your confidence as you get out and share the things that mean the most to you. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to visit us at CassieNevitt.com and make it a great week.